is going to be a tale of two passports. I want to talk to you about why you're stuck. And you may not know you're stuck. So come on, get in here, get in here. Put it up here in the link. I'm going to link to you. Hey, 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 hey. I'm going to link to you. Let's try a filter while you get on in here. Let's see about blush. Oh, I like blush. That's nice. I'm going to link our next masterclass coming up. Hey family, how you love it, how you love it, how you love it. Oh, this one's gonna be so good. This is gonna be so good. Smash up the likes, smash up the likes. If you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. I've been here on YouTube for over 13 years teaching all about magic, money, and metaphysics. This is a spirituality channel, and I have something so good for you today. I don't want to catch other people on my video. Coming to you from the airport on my way to Greece for the Greece Dreams Fulfilled retreat. And then from Greece, we go to Italy for the Wealthy Author retreat. Tell me if you can hear me. Tell me if you can hear me. Sound check. My mic sounds nice. Give me a sound check. Sound check. Sound check. Great, great. Sound check. Let me know you hear me. I can hear. Okay, excellent, Jessica. Excellent. Let's roll. This is a tale of two passports. And what I'm going to say to you may be shocking, surprising, and may completely blow the lid off, as I usually do, as I love to do, with the intention. I have a very specific intention in sharing this story with you. The intention is for you to be unstuck if you're stuck anywhere in your life, and specifically with global travel. I've been a coach. I'm Reverend Valerie Love. If we haven't met yet, hey Darla, hey Lane, hey all our peeps. Look, family, my flight was delayed, and I said, great, I can talk to the Love Tubers, because I haven't talked to the Love Tubers live in a minute, and I miss my Love Tubers. So we'll be going live again soon. I got some travel going on, so once I get situated, we'll be going live again soon with our next daily thing that we're doing. So that's why I'm taking this opportunity to come to you live. So here is how you know you're stuck. Because in spirituality and in transformation, you cannot change anything that you're not aware of. If you're not aware that there's anything to transform, it's going to be very difficult for you to transform it. So therefore, we must have awareness of what is going on with self. This is self-gnosis, self-awareness, self-knowledge. What's going on with me? And most of the time, we do not delve deeply into what's really going on with me, what's really going on in my consciousness, and is it that which I desire, or am I still being run by old programming, my childhood and upbringing, or societal pressures? What's driving me? And you reach to the core of yourself, and you discover what's really there and why are you doing the things that you're doing? Why are you living the life that you're living? Why do you live where you live? Why do you have the house you have? Why do you have the cars you have? Why do you have the body you have? Why do you have the work that you have? Not that anything's wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. This is simply for awareness and to look around your life. And as a spiritual seeker, or as we talk about here on this channel, as a magical being, you want to always be ascending wherever you are in consciousness. So for that, in order to go up, right, or to simply return home to your true self, which is the God self, you've got to know what is going on with me. So I'm going to tell you something very shocking that I discovered about my consciousness. And I only discovered this recently. And I'll show you, I'm sharing with you what I discovered about myself so that you could look at your own life and see what your life is telling you, because all of our lives are speaking to us and they're telling us something very profound about where our consciousness is. It's not all the time right that we're listening, family. Yes? All right, smash up the likes. Let's get a smash-a-thon, because I see more and more and more people coming into this chat, and I want to see a smash-a-thon. Smash up the likes and subscribe. Now, here is my first passport. I wrote out dates so that I could give you documentation. This is my journal. I have it in my journal. Look at my first passport. This is passport number one. I acquired passport number one in January of 2008. It's a 10-year passport in the United States of America. If you're in another country, in the United States of America, they issue 10-year passports to people who are of age of majority. If you're 18 and under, I think they give you a 5-year passport, because they gave my daughter a 5-year passport. So this passport is a 10-year passport from January of 2008 to January 2018. It's very easy to see. In this passport, I have exactly 3 countries that I visited. Number one, I visited the country of Kenya in Africa in February of 2008. That was the reason why I got the passport. Understand that before January of 2008, I did not have a passport. Why? I'll tell you why. I grew up in the 60s, in the 70s. I'm a child of the 60s. When I was a kid, having a passport, like we would see James Bond on movies and things like that, he looked like the GOAT. James Bond had multiple passports. He would open his little cachet or his little drawer in his secret house, and he would have passports, this one, that. He would just pick one. He had the girls, he had the women, he had everything. He was so suave. When I was growing up in Harlem, USA, I just want to show you where my consciousness came from and how you can scan your own consciousness and how you can get unstuck. And I'm talking about unstuck in any area of your life, and I'm talking about unstuck at any level of your life, because very, very, very successful people are still stuck in some area. We're all still stuck in some areas. This is about getting it unstuck. So when I was growing up, the idea of having a passport never entered my consciousness. The people that raised me up didn't talk about passports. They didn't talk about global travel. They didn't think about going to other countries. They didn't think about any of that. Hear me. So the idea of having a passport sounded like that's something people do on TV. I'm a little... Okay, so when I turned 18, and plus I was in a cult of Jehovah's Witnesses, and they were like, everything's the devil. Travel is the devil. Well, they didn't actually say travel is the devil, but they were like, why? You don't have to worry about traveling because the end is coming in 1975. Remember, the Jehovah's Witnesses told you that the end was coming in 1975. It still hasn't come, right? The world was going to end in 1975. And why do anything? Why even get your teeth fixed? Don't even get dental work. That's what they told people. So when I turned 18, I decided, put in the vortex, put in the vortex. Hey, Joanne. Love and hugs, love and hugs. Joanne, we getting unstuck today. We gonna get unstuck today in an airport, and I got a late flight. Thank you, Spirit. Delayed my flight so I can give this message. Okay, so I turned 18. I decided I'm gonna go travel. Don't ask me what made me do that. It wasn't a mental thought. It was an inner unction. You know how you have inspirations inside of you to do things, and you don't even know where these inspirations come from. They come from the great I am. That's where they come from. They come from beyond the little egoic conscious I personality mind. It's coming from somewhere beyond that. It's coming from a place of expansion and expansiveness and discovery and searching for something new. So I decided I was going to travel. So I went to California. They were shocked. They were shocked, I'm telling you. They were shocked. Went to California, had a good time, went for 2 weeks, visited friends and all that with myself. Before TSA, I will have you know, I know with all the Gen Z and Gen X and Gen Y and all the generations after that, you probably never heard of a world where there was no TSA. Before 911 in 2001, there was no such thing as TSA. I didn't grow up with TSA. That's a new invention in the last 20-something years. It's a very new invention. The whole TSA thing, very new invention. We had airports, we had the flight, you walked all the way up to the plane, Some planes, they didn't even assign you a seat. You just walked on. It wasn't all this line up. It wasn't all this luggage, rolling luggage. We didn't even have luggage with wheels on it. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? I know someone listening to this knows exactly what I'm talking about. We didn't have all of that. We had, you have your little purse, you have a suitcase, and you had to carry it. And you get on the suitcase, on the flight, and we had much less things then because understand we were living more simply then. Oh, we've greatly expanded in these last 20, 30 years. And I'm okay with that. I'm just wanting to let you know Joanne remembers. Okay. And do you remember, Joanne, that your mother, your father, your boo, your sister, your brother could walk you all the way up to the jet way of getting on the airplane? They could walk you all the way up. Do you see this is a jetway right behind me? They could walk you all the way to the gate of your airplane and hug you and kiss you and say, okay, see you later, and watch you get on the plane and wave like you could practically wave from your airplane window to your people. Whew, all that changed. But anyway, those was the simple days. I want to take you into my world and into what my consciousness was doing so that you have full awareness of what was going on with me because I intend to share this for you to be unstuck, for all of us to be unstuck, okay? Okay, so didn't have a passport. I got back home. The travel was amazing. I was bit by the bug. Had to travel, had to travel, had to travel. I was looking around at people like, why are y'all sitting here? There's a whole world to discover out there. Now remember, we didn't have the internet. I didn't know what any place looked like. We had a map, and we had the dictionary, and we had an encyclopedia. Encyclopedia Britannica. My mother made payments so they could deliver the little encyclopedia. We had all the encyclopedias lined up. In there, it had pictures. Picture of a map, a picture of Aruba. Oh, that looks nice. There was no internet. I didn't know anything about anything that was out in the world other than what they told us. And then they would show us some things on TV. We had 3 TV stations, ABC, CBS, NBC. And then we had PBS, which was like the little, I call it the welfare channel, like the public service channel with the Sesame Street and the little, Mr. Rogers, stuff like that. I didn't know what the world was like. There were no vlogs. There was no YouTube, there was no Instagram, there was no nothing about any other place. If you wanted to go somewhere, you had to go to a travel agent. Do y'all remember travel agents? And the travel agent would give you brochures. Here's a brochure. And you flip through the brochure, and this is what Aruba looks like, and this is what Jamaica looks like, and this is what the Bahamas look like. You want to go? And they have big numbers next to each one. You want to go to Bahamas, it's $3.99. You want to go to Aruba, it's $4.99. You want to go to here. That's what we did. And guess what? When you went to all those places, you didn't need a passport. Please understand that the world keeps changing and keeps changing and keeps changing. So what's true in 2023 is not going to be true in 2030, nor is it going to be true in 2025. I just saw something the other day, actually this morning, that said, hey, by May of 2025 in the United States, you're going to need a passport to get from state to state by air, or you're going to need some special issue, license, ID, real ID, something or another. Things keep changing, things keep changing in this third dimension. That's the nature of the third dimensional plane, right? So I went to the Bahamas. When I got married for the first time, I was in my 20s. Me and my husband went to Bahamas for our anniversary, for our honeymoon. Then we went for our anniversary. We went to the Bahamas. Didn't need a passport to go to the Bahamas. I went to Jamaica when I was 18. I was like, oh my goodness, I love this traveling thing. We wanted to go to Jamaica. Let's see what Jamaica is like. We heard about Ocho Rios. I'm gonna go to Ocho Rios. People were like, oh, how amazing is that? I'm telling you, people in my life were looking at me like I was a 3-headed god that had just came down on a spaceship from another planet. She's going to Ocho Rios. And then they were looking at me waving goodbye when I would get on the plane, like, I hope she makes it back. Then we didn't have mobile phones, so you couldn't even call your people. We didn't have email, so you couldn't call your people and tell them you were there. You couldn't send them an email. We didn't have email. You had to call them from like a landline phone. It cost you $50 million. Okay, I made it, but I got to get off right away because they charging me by the minute. I mean, it was an antiquated world. We grew up in an antiquated world. That's what the world looked like when I was doing all these things. I had no modern conveniences, and I was going anyway. Went to Jamaica, I couldn't believe it. It was so beautiful, it was so amazing. It was a whole new world. met the Rastas, went to Bob Marley's spot, the Lion's Den, couldn't believe it. I was having the time of my life. Went to the Bahamas again. I kept coming back telling our people, you gotta go. They were like, mm-mm. They were like most people. Most people are stuck. And you and I are going to make sure that we not be stuck, that we are not stuck in any area of our lives. It doesn't befit a divine being to be stuck in any area of your life. Okay, so let's go further. Fast forward, I'm traveling. We go to the Bahamas several times. We hop over. I went to Jamaica like 4 times. We're on cruises. We're doing all this. We're doing all this. You don't need a passport for any of this. Okay, 911 hits in 2001. Bam. World changes. It was like a COVID moment, right? Like every 20 years, we have some global shocking revolutionary thing that changes everything. Another one's going to come in 2040. I don't know what it's going to be yet. Okay, so in 2001, we had, you know, the world went crazy. Oh my goodness, the terrorists was on everybody's mind. We were traumatized, shell shocked. We lived in New York City. I'm from New York City. I was no longer living in New York City at that time. My parents were still there, so I was nervous and crying, and we were watching it on TV. Everybody remembers where they were on 911. It was so horrible, so shocking, so traumatizing. Well, after that, everything changed. They said you need a passport to go anywhere. So I didn't, I wasn't planning on really going very far. Why? My consciousness was not there yet. I was stuck and I did not know I was stuck. So we could still go on cruises and everything. Cruises are cute. They're great, lovely, nothing wrong with it. They're a great starting point. Go on cruises if you want to. Okay, let's go further. In 2008, right? 2008. No. It wasn't 2008. It was 2007. In 2007, I was in a deep healing experience at Inner Visions Institute for Spiritual Development with Reverend Dr. Yala Van Sant. Oh my God. Intensive upheaval and cleaning out of all the gunk for my service to humanity. I knew I was called as a minister, spiritual life coach, and this was my next evolution to serve the world, to stand on my square and serve the world from a place of power and knowing within myself, not relying on anything outside of myself. Okay, I'm there, and it got hard. You know how spiritual programs get hard? It got hard. You know how if you go to Queen of Fua and you say, I want to be a sacred woman, you know it's going to get hard. Oh, it sounds great before you get in. Yeah, I want to be a sacred woman. And you're looking at all the sacred women that have already graduated. It's so beautiful. And you're looking at all the things that they're going to help you with. Oh, Queen of Fua, props. So you're going to be a sacred woman. You get into sacred woman and it's a year or whatever it is. You get into sacred woman after 2 or 3 months. You're like, oh, damn. Oh, my God. Why? Because any spiritual paradigm, any spiritual program you get into is going to start shaking and moving the stuff up. And the stuff is going to be coming up to do what? To come out. Whoops. Knock my head. Clean off my head. Y'all get to see I got little ponytails in my hair. Okay. I'm going to leave it off. No, let me put it back on. So what is it coming for? It's coming up to come out. But most people, see, that's why I didn't put a head wrap on, because you'll know how I be talking. The head wraps would just fall off of me. Earrings fall off of me. If you've been watching me for a while, you're very used to the shenanigans of my stuff. My stuff can't stay on me when I get worked up. So anyway, you get into Queen of Fua, and after 2 or 3 months, you want to quit. Why? Because the shit got hard. It got real. Your stuff started moving, and you like, whoa, oh. Your shadows started to open, and you had to go deep into it and heal that thing that happened when you were 3 years old, heal that abuse at 6 years old, heal that trauma from being born on the third dimension, face and heal that abuse, face and heal that sexual assault. And you were like, ooh, nah, I'm going to watch Netflix and eat some bonbons because that's so easy. See, usually in these spiritual programs, it's so freaking hard. I gotta meditate. I have to discipline myself. I must eat a certain way, not talk to these kind of people. I must guard my energy. I must wake up early in the morning, everybody else asleep. All that shit is hard. I know it's hard because I do it. And it's fucking hard until it's easy. Well, I was about to quit. I was about to quit Intervisions. I had written Reverend Dr. Yala Van Sant a tidy little, completely misaligned email. I was not divinely aligned, talking about, yeah, I meditated on it and I'm out. She gave me a beautiful response. Oh my God, I think I still have that email. I need to dig up that email from all those years ago and find it. Here was the response. The response was, well, beloved, God would never tell you to come into something and then tell you to come out of something. Now, I knew God had put me in the thing. And now what you're saying is God told you to get out the thing. She probably wanted to say, boo, that's your ego and you crazy and I'll see you in class. Instead, what she said was this. It was very kind and loving. It was beautiful. She said, you made a commitment. I was like, boom. And you know how they say in Christianity, you was convicted in the spirit because guess what? The Holy Spirit showed me all my broken commitments. I said I was going to do that, broke that commitment. I said I was going to do this, broke that commitment. I said I was going to do this, broke that commitment. I was a serial commitment breaker. Ooh, how you going to do something big and you don't honor your word? You don't do what you say you're going to do. People can't even count on you to show up. That's why I keep doing things on the channel that make me honor my commitments, that make me make bigger and bigger commitments to people. That 365 days of A Course in Miracles that we did right here on the YouTube channel is still here. It is incredible. It is like a magnum opus. It is like epic. We did that together. Y'all were with us, right? I knew she hit you with the beloved. Come on, Joanne. Come on. You know, mama. Beloved. And we have this saying in Intervisions, and here's the saying that we have in Intervisions, that beloved means a lot of different things. Like sometimes beloved really means we love you, beloved. We love you. We want you to do this. Sometimes beloved means you stupid. Beloved, come over here. Because you over there in the bushes and we over here in consciousness. You're not aligned, beloved. Then that means you are the dumbass right now, beloved. Okay? And sometimes And sometimes beloved means don't do that. Sometimes beloved is a warning. Like, don't do that. Beloved, like, do you really want to do that? Beloved, like, gentle reminder, you about to do something fucking crazy. Do you really want to do that? We got a lie. We have a lot of Felita. You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you, Felita? Felita, the Holy Spirit convicted me and showed me all my broken commitments. It was a string of broken commitments. I was like, oh, damn. I don't commit. When it gets hard, I bail. Anybody know what I'm talking about, or is this just my crazy ass? When it gets hard, I bail. Yeah, it's too hard. It's too much. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. It's not appropriate for a spiritual master such as you and I. I don't feel like it. It's not appropriate for people who are building empires. And I don't feel like it. It's not appropriate to people who are epic in their potential and in your knowing. We can't say that. Now, muggles, punks, they can say, I don't feel like it. Okay, beloved, okay. Wink, wink. Keep it moving. You and I, we can't say that. It doesn't honor who we are as divine beings. Come on, money in the vortex. I love it. So let's get back to these two passports. I gave you that background to show you where I was stuck. Okay, where I was stuck. You talking to me, Felita? Come on, I know that, Felita. Jessica, yes, I do that too. That's it, Jessica. Because you know what happens? The ego starts talking to us, the deceptive intelligence starts talking to us when it gets hard. And it starts telling us things like, you don't need this. You could be relaxing. You work so hard. It starts to do the whole Peter thing where he was trying to soothsay Jesus, and Christ said, "Get thee behind me, Satan." That's what you need to say to those thoughts. Get thee behind me, Satan. When you feel your ego soothsaying you, like, you don't have to do it, it's okay, you work so hard, don't push yourself, don't do that. When you hear that voice, you need to immediately say, "Get thee behind me, Satan." That's not the way. The way out is through. I go forward. Okay, so 2000, we're here, 2007. I'm bringing you all the way from when I was born in Harlem, USA, in a hospital that's not even there anymore, all the way up to 2007 in our conversation with Reverend Dr. Iyanla Van Sant. And this is what she asked me when I was standing in front of the whole group telling them, yeah, I was going to quit. And then she said, after she said the commitment thing, she said, well, at least honor everyone that you are here with and come to the next class and tell everyone what you're going to do. And she was like, well, if you about it, doubt it, then you need to. I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll come to class. I came to class and got my whole life. Class was the entire weekend, right, at Intervisions. Go to Intervisions Worldwide online and you will find it and go. So anyway, she said to me as I was talking and telling my sad story about how I don't honor my commitments and all that stuff, she said, what's the vision? See, vision, make vision, vision. You see, write the vision, make it plain so that he who sees it may run, so that she who sees it may run. What is the vision? Because what we know is that as metaphysicians, Reverend Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith told us that pain pushes until vision pulls. You will be pushed through your life by pain. Just go to the next thing, go to the next thing until you get a vision that pulls you up. My vision is so magnificent and huge, it pulls me up. You look at the vision. Don't look left, don't look right, don't look behind, don't look ahead. Because all of those do not have the answer for you, beloved. You look up. You looking at the vision. You looking at where spirit is calling you, which is your true self, your higher self, the vision. Ooh, today is your birthday, Rebecca. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Pain pushes until vision pulls. Don't you love it, Felita? See, Felita is a coach and a transformation agent, so she's getting everything that I'm talking about because we see it in clients, we see it in ourselves, we see it everywhere. Okay, let's go further. Ooh, 60-year-old today. Come on, Rebecca, 60-year young. Come on, baby. Happy birthday. Mwah. Birthday blessings to you and many more. Hugs and health. Okay? So let me tell you about these two passports. And then we're going to wrap it up so I can go to my gate and get ready to get on this airplane. Okay. Here it is. Let me check my time because I'll be talking to y'all for hours and be done forgot what I'm the time. I'm good on time. Okay. Two passports. Now you're going to see evidence and proof positive how stuck I was. So Reverend Dr. Iyanla Van Sant asked me, what's the vision? And I said, I knew that I saw Africa, I saw global travel, I saw Africa. Never been to the dark continent as they call it, right? I had never been to the motherland. I call it the motherland. People call it the dark continent. Africa and prisons. I knew that there was some kind of prison ministry that we were going to do. And we did have a prison ministry, and I will reinstate the prison ministry too coming up. And, or as Mama Ia calls it, God's retreat house, right? You go to a house so that you can think about your life for a while until you come out. And so, when I said Africa, here's what Mama Ia said. She said, oh, well, we can make that happen because Pastor Nolan Henson goes to Africa every year. Will you go? And in the moment I said yes. Because remember, I'm that traveling gal, right? I'm that adventurer. I'm that one that was going out doing all these things when I was 18, 19, 20s, all of that. And all the people around me were like, like, why are you doing all that? Okay. I was like, yes. Then In that very second, let me show you how the deceptive intelligence works. In that very second that I said yes, right in the moment, yes to destiny. Here go this deceptive intelligence a second later. What? What did you just say yes to? We call this the yabbits. Yeah, but here go the yabbits. What? What did you just say yes to? You don't have a passport. You don't have money. Where they going in Africa? Africa? They have lions in Africa. No, you can't go to Africa. It's not safe. It's not this. It's not that. Where the money's coming from? Who's gonna watch the kids? Do you see the yabbits? Attacked me, baby. Attacked me. The yabbits. Now it's all lies. All your yabbits, yeah buts. I call them yabbits. They're lies. All of them are lies. Yet here they come. In my book, Spiritual Badassery, please get Spiritual Badassery. I will link it below this video. In my book, Spiritual Badassery, I give you the exact committees and what they say that are in your consciousness. My sister, Reverend Danielle Willard, y'all know her, Reverend Danielle Randall now after being married, you know she calls it the librarian, your subconscious mind, the programming, what's programmed in your subconscious mind. So when you hear something like Africa, you're, she says your librarian goes and looks up the file in your subconscious mind. It's like, oh no, danger, no, 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 danger, 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 no, 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 no. And then guess what happens? Because your subconscious mind has said no, now you have to give some kind of rational reason on why you're not going, because people know this is your dream. You know it's your dream. So you have to now rationalize why you're not doing it. And you know the number one rationale that people come up with, well, why they're not doing it? I don't have the money. Okay, boo. Everyone who tells me they don't have the money is saying, I don't really want to overcome my fear to do it. I'm not ready to really do it. And then you come up with, I don't have the money, because you're going to come up with something that would be acceptable to the people around you and that would cause you, I don't want to catch other people's faces on this video, and that would cause you to be agreed with. Come on, yay, new number, come on, Joanne, love it, love it, love it. The books are in the vault for you. When you become a new member, the books are in the vault for you, and you will see Spiritual Badassery. When you become a member, you will see Spiritual Badassery. It is, and you love Spiritual Badassery. Yay, I'm so thankful. Yeah. I love that book. I love that book. Oh, I got the God bumps. So you will come up with something, some reason. I just rejoined when you mentioned the book. Woo, come on, Joanne. I love it. Welcome back to the family. Love it. Love it. It's in there because you know I'm always writing, so I'm always putting more stuff in the vault. And when you become a member on the YouTube channel, just push the join button. When you become a member on the YouTube channel, you get all of these books. They're for you in the vault. You get access to the vault. Well, the committees attacked me. You don't have the money for that, and they were right. I ain't had the money for that. What was really going on though? Not having money is a effing excuse. It's an effing excuse. Because if your child, if not even your child, if you had some kind of lung something and you went to the doctor today and they rushed you to the hospital and said, unless you come up with $20,000 by midnight tonight, you will not be able to breathe because you need a treatment that's $25,000 and we need the payment in advance and this will cause you to breathe. But if not, at 11:59 p.m. tonight, you will take your last breath. How fast would you get that $25,000? You would have that $25,000 in no time flat. Welcome, welcome, Felina. Welcome to the channel as a member. Yay! Right? So money is not a reason. Money is an excuse because money does what you tell it to do. And your subconscious mind is saying, stay away from me because if you come, I'll have to do big things because I will have the resources to do it. And people will be looking at me like, what's wrong with you? And my fear will be outed to everyone. Let's just call a spade and say what's really going on. Money doesn't stop you. Money's never stopped anybody. Our beliefs about money is what stops us. Money doesn't stop you because what you really want money for and what you really need money for, you have. Here are the two passports. So this is the magical passport, the first one that came to me after Reverend Dr. Yala Van said, had that conversation with me, and I said yes. Then I couldn't backpedal, even though the Yabbits attacked me. Why could I not backpedal? I couldn't backpedal because I had accountability. The whole community was looking at me like, oh, isn't that beautiful? She's going to Africa. I was like, oh, damn, what did I get myself into? Yeah, this is what I really want to do anyway. Why am I wanting to backpedal out of my own dream, my own vision? What's going on with us, family? Let's end with this. Let me show you. Here's the evidence that I was stuck. So I showed you, I gave you the backstory of the passport. Passport number one, these 10 years. Here are the 3 countries that I actually got out and walked around and lived in for a minute. Well, was here. I was in Kenya in February of 2008 for about 10 days. Okay, I fulfilled what I said with my coach. Then, if you look at this, 8 years later, do you see this? Do you see this is 8 years later? 8 years later, or I think 2015. 7 years later, I was in Bali. 7 years between 2008 and 2015. Do you see that 7 year gap? Then, a year later, August, well, less than a year later, August of 2015, I was in Bali. Bali broke something wide open for me, and I'm going to give you the proof in a moment. In February of 2016, I was in India. Do you see how Bali broke something wide open for me? Because months later, after going to Bali, I was in India. Let's go further. Here is the second passport. This is passport number 2. I got passport number 2 in October of 2017 because why? A friend of mine invited me to China and Hong Kong, and I could not go to China and Hong Kong without 6 months validity on my passport. So I had to get a new passport because it was expiring within 6 months from the time that we were going to be away. So in October of 2017, I got a new passport, and that will take me 10 years to October 2027. So I am about 60% of the way through this passport as of 2023 when I give you this message. Here are the countries in this passport. Let's look at the evidence. The first passport, this is a tale of 2 passports. The first passport, 3 countries. The second passport, in the whole entire decade of this passport, 3 countries. Now, that doesn't mean that I didn't go anywhere, because of course I was going to Salem, I was going to Sedona, I was going all over the place in the United States. I was still going to, different places. Puerto Rico didn't need a passport. But I'm telling you, there are only 3 countries in this 10-year passport. The 2008 reason that I got the passport, so January 2008, I got the passport. February 2008, I was in Kenya. 7 years later, in August of 2015, do you see that there's a 7-year gap? August of 2015, I go to Bali. I live in Bali for 30 days. It broke something off in my consciousness. Because from Bali, next thing you know, a few months later, that's right, with Dr. Pillai, that's exactly right. I was with Dr. Pillai. I was with Dr. Pillai in India in 2016. Months later, February of 2016, I was in India with Dr. Pillai. So you see this. Now here's the second passport. The second passport, we are only 60% of the way through the second passport. I'm just over the halfway mark of the second passport. Second passport came in 2017. It expires in 2027. This is 2023. So I'm 6 years into this passport, which would say 60% into this passport. I'm burning this sucker up. Man, there's so many passport stamps in this sucker, it's not even funny. Okay, I'm gonna give you the countries. So passport number 1, Kenya, Bali, India. That was it. Now, some people would say, that's amazing. Some people have never been to any of those 3. They're very exotic, they're very amazing, they're mind-blowing. Yet, I'm not here to live what other people think is a dream. I'm here to live the divine potential and dream spirit put in me, which I know is greater than 3 countries. Here's how I know. 2017. From October of 2017 to October of 2027, do you see all these countries? Mexico, multiple times. Peru, multiple times. Dubai and Abu Dhabi, multiple times. China, Hong Kong, Portugal, France, multiple times. Paris and Cannes, the south of France, Thailand, Egypt, Bali again, leading the Your Book in 5 Days Bali retreat. Greece, Italy. You'll remember last year I went to Egypt on a one-way ticket, was living in Egypt for 30 days. And then from Egypt, I went over to Greece. And then from Greece, I went to Italy. And from Italy, I went to Portugal. Y'all were with me, y'all saw it. Do you see what I'm saying? What I'm saying to you is, even though I was doing things that people around me were not doing, ever since I was 18 years old and I could go somewhere on my own, I was doing things that nobody around me, that I won't say nobody, that most people around me were not doing. Yet I still wasn't at my potential. You can't think it's okay because you're the big dog, you're the big honcho in your circle. So therefore, you think it's okay that you've been to 3 countries because the people around you have been to none. But you know your destiny is to be in 20, 30, 200 countries. I was stuck and didn't know it. That is the tale of 2 passports. This passport, 3 countries over a course of a decade. This passport, a dozen or more countries, some countries multiple times, only 60% through the passport. You tell me, if you're stuck, I can get you unstuck. That's all I'm saying. ValerieLove.com. And if you are still saying the money issue, I'm going to put a link below this vid to the next masterclass that I have coming up, because you know I teach all kinds of masterclasses there at ValerieLove.com. Click on classes. Now, if you're coming with us to Egypt, if you're going to say, okay, KAISI, I'm going to do it. You're at the airport. I'm holding space for you. I already did a global spell for the whole community. You can travel at will. You can go anywhere you want because I did a global travel spell for the community. You know I'm a powerful witch. I'm about to get ready to rock and roll. So, so what I want to say to you is this. If you don't know you're stuck, you may be stuck. And if you think you're not stuck because you're doing a little bit better than the people around you, you still may be stuck. And how do you know you're stuck? Because you don't have your dreams. When you see yourself and you have all your dreams, you know you're not stuck. If you don't have all your dreams, something in you is stuck. And you need to do something about it. I love you. I'm going to go get on my airplane and get on out of here to Greece and Italy by way of Dominican Republic and Germany. I love you. Peace. Love you, fam.